It's Near Beer Showtime, one of my very first YouTube video. Really excited. Let's just get straight into Week 17 predictions. So first, let's lay it out. I'll give you the fact of the game, who wins, and why they win, with the exception being the N game, which is Cowboys at Eagles, and the S game, which is Chiefs at Chargers. N standing for noob. The noob will come in and draft my team. And for S, that will be Siri. I will ask her to pick a random number between 1 and 2. And yeah, let's get started. Patriots at Dolphins. I'm a Patriots fan. I'm not going to hide it. Been for a long time. I'm a huge Patriots fan. But first, let's get to the fact of the game. The Dolphins have had more passing yards than the Patriots in the last 3 of their contests. So that kind of shocks me because the Patriots are normally one of the best passing offenses, and you wouldn't really think the Dolphins would be one to surpass them. I have to go with the Patriots because last time they played in this Week 17 position, the Patriots had the chance to clinch home field advantage throughout the playoffs just by getting a win. They blew it, and so they lost home field advantage, and they ended up getting beat by the team that had home field advantage, the Broncos. So I think I'm going to go with the Patriots just because Bill Belichick won't let that happen to them again. Let's move on to Jaguars at Colts. The fact is, 17 different people caught the ball combined in their last game. That's a lot of people, meaning that they like to use spread offenses. And based on that knowledge, I'm going to go with the Colts because spread offenses means accurate throws, and Andrew Luck is much more accurate than Blake Bortles. We've seen this several times, so I'm going to go with the Colts. Bears at Vikings. The fact of the game. The Bears haven't scored more than 20 points and less than 17 in the last 3 games. So, this means that the Vikings have found a way to keep the Bears in that really small point range, like between 17 and 20, meaning that the Vikings, they found a way to keep the Bears offense in check. It's all a matter of the Vikings offense playing well, and I think the Vikings offense will be able to do it. I mean, the Vikings are a better team than the Bears. Granted, the Bears did beat them this year, but this one's at Minnesota. I think the Vikings will pull it off. Panthers at Bucks. So, the fact of this game, they've combined for 15 turnovers over the last 3 games, which is a lot of turnovers. And if this game indeed becomes a turnover battle, I'd prefer to take Jameis Winston and the Buccaneers over the Panthers. And also, the Buccaneers are fighting for something in the playoffs. The Panthers were eliminated a little while ago, so I'm going to take the Buccaneers here, feeling confident. Browns at Steelers. The fact of this game, the Browns have combined for 1 touchdown over the last 3 games, so just going to take the Steelers and move on with this. Alright, so Bills at Jets. So, I mean, Rex Ryan recently got fired, so I don't trust the Bills. Oh, by the way, fact of the game, in the last 2 out of 3 games, the Bills have beaten the Jets 22-17. In 2 out of their last 3 games, that exact score. But I'm going to take the Bills. Even though Rex Ryan got fired, I still trust the Bills more than I do the Jets. So I'm just going to take the Bills there. Alright, Cowboys at Eagles. The fact of the game. Cowboys have had different quarterbacks in each of their last 3 games against the Eagles. But in this game, it doesn't matter what I think. Call in the noob.
Hi, everyone.
Alright, noob. It's time for the game. Cowboys at Eagles. Who do you pick?
Cowboys at Eagles. Well, I'm going to pick the Eagles because, didn't they, used to be good? And then, now they're bad. So, I think that, they can become good. I know nothing about football.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think they can become good and win against the Dallas Cowboys.
Thank you, noob. I appreciate it. Alright, next game. Texans at Titans. The fact of the game. The Titans scored less points combined in 3 games than Houston did in 1. I think the Titans will win, mainly because Houston's going to be resting their starters. I know the fact I just read you is, really makes you want to pick the Texans, but they're going to be resting starters because they can't move up and down in the playoff rankings, so I'm going to take the Titans here. Alright, Chiefs at Chargers. The fact of this game is Albert Wilson led the Chiefs in receiving yards in 2 out of their 3 games. That's just a cool fact, and it can also be used for fantasy football. If you need like a flex option, Albert Wilson might not be a bad pickup. But let's go to Siri. Hi Siri, how are you?
I'm happy to be alive.
Okay.
That's a strange response.
Alright, so pick a number between 1 and 2.
I'm sorry.
Pick a number between 1 and 2.
I'm sorry.
Pick a number between 1 and 2.
I'm sorry.
Pick a number between 1 and 2.
It's 1.
Okay, there we go. Siri trusts the Chiefs, which I would agree with. Well done, Siri. Pat. Alright, so let's move on. Ravens at Bengals. The fact of the game, in the past 3 games against Cincy, 11 different people have carried the ball for Baltimore, which I find really amazing. And I think the Ravens are going to win because, A, they're a better team than the Bengals. We've seen that throughout. B, this just has not been the Bengals' year. I mean, they've been struggling. Like, they're going to miss the playoffs this year for sure. I'm going with the Ravens. Let's move on. Raiders at Broncos. The fact of this game, Denver has 2 turnovers in the last 3 games against the Raiders. Just 2 turnovers, no more, no less, in the last 3 games against the Raiders. So, I think that means the Raiders have consistently, gotten the same amount of turnovers. What this means, I'm not really sure, but I think the Raiders are going to win. They're trying to keep that 2 seed, and they want the bye. They've already clinched a playoff position, but they need that bye. And so, I'm going with the Raiders here. Seahawks at 49ers. The 49ers have passed for 1 touchdown in their last 3 games combined. Now, we'd all love to pick the 49ers. I especially would. I'm not a Seahawks fan. I'm a Patriots fan, but I have to pick the Seahawks. I just can't pick the 49ers here. The Seahawks are too good of a team. 49ers are too bad of a team. I don't think they have it in them. Let's move on to Cardinals at Rams. Fact of this game. So they have the exact same average points against this year, which is 23. I find that just pretty cool. But I think the Cardinals will win. They're a better team. I mean, the Cardinals have a much better offense than the Rams. Yes, we saw last year that Todd Gurley might be good, but he's had an off year this year, Todd Gurley. So take the Cardinals. Yeah, let's move on. Saints at Falcons. The fact of this game is Julio hasn't caught a touchdown in their last 3 contests, which I find pretty interesting because Julio Jones is a great receiver, but he hasn't caught a touchdown. He's gotten a lot of yards, but he hasn't found a way to get in the end zone. So if yours a touchdown-only league, maybe try to bench him. I know it's Julio Jones. You don't really want to bench him. And, keep him in. I mean, he's trustworthy against the Saints. Or against any team, I should say. But, I mean, just something to think about. But I think the Falcons will win. They're in the playoffs. Saints are not. And the Falcons are trying to keep their position at the 2 seed. Let's go to Giants at Redskins. In the last 2 out of 3 games, Manning has thrown more interceptions than touchdowns against the Redskins, meaning he throws a lot of turnovers. But I still think the Giants are going to be able to win this because they have a better defense than the Redskins. Even though the Redskins' defense has improved with Josh Norman, Landon Collins is a playmaker. He is a playmaker. They will be able to stop the Redskins. I think I'm going to take the Giants here. Finally, Packers at Lions. This is the prime time big game. The last time the Packers played at Lions, we all remember that Hail Mary to Richard Rodgers. That was insane. That's kind of like a memoriam fact. Wow, what a play. Anyway, so I'm going to take the Packers here. I trust Aaron Rodgers in these clutch situations. I don't really want Aaron Rodgers to win because I really like Brady, but Aaron Rodgers is my choice here. Please do consider subscribing to the channel, like the video, and comment down below, whether your own predictions, criticisms of mine, anything like that. And have a great day. I'll see you later.